But as Bakassi Boys fired on them, they noticed something strange. The bullets were not having any effect on the robbers. The boys were fortified. The bullets were just bouncing off them. That changed everything, because this was no longer looking like ordinary robbery. This had entered another phase. Now Bakassi Boys pushed harder, but the more they pushed, the less effect it had on these robbers. Their master, the one who uses wheelchair from the Bakassi group, was brought into the matter, and when the pressure increased, the robbers finally scattered. But one of them was caught alive. That was when the interrogation began. They asked him one question: who fortified you? At first, the boy tried to act strong, but when the pressure became too much, his mouth opened, he confessed. He said the fortification came from Nawgwu. That name changed everything, because this was not just a robber naming another criminal. This was a fortified robber pointing directly to a prophet. So from that confession, the road led to Nawgwu. And on 4th November 2000, around 4 a.m., Bakassi Boys entered Nawgwu's place in Nawgwu, Anambra State. But before this happened, Nawgwu had told the church members that he was expecting some visitors. And when the Bakassi Boys came, he told them that they were his children and were welcome. But then, a serious gun battle did ensue, because Nawgwu had boys who were fortified and also had guns with them. At the end of the battle, they arrested him. They also arrested his father and his elder brother, John Okeke, from Nawgwu. They took them to Onitsha. At that moment, everyone knew the matter had become serious. Now, the man people traveled to see for healing was now in the hands of the most feared vigilante group in Anambra. So from 4th November to 9th November 2000, Nawgwu was held in Onitsha. Then on 9th November 2000, the story ended. Nawgwu was killed in Onitsha, Anambra State at Ochanja Market. The man who once had crowds around him, the man some people called prophet of God, the man some people feared more than criminals, was gone just like that. Now after his death, his father was reportedly released on 11th November 2000, while his elder brother was released on 12th November 2000. But Nawgwu did not come back, even though he had boasted upon his death that he would return. And after that, the story became bigger than the man. Before his death, there was also a phone call from very rich persons who said they needed him released no matter the cost, but the Bakassi refused to do so. Now, when he died, some people celebrated. They said darkness had finally come to an end. Some said Bakassi Boys did what the police could not do. Some said if not for Bakassi Boys, nobody would have been able to touch him. But others asked the question that still makes the story uncomfortable. Was this justice or jungle justice? Because no matter how dark a man's name becomes, if the court never fully opens the file, people will always argue. Some will say, forget the courts, the community knew what they suffered. Others will say, if the accusations were true, why was he not properly tried? And that is why the story of Nawgwu still hits hard. It is not just the story of one prophet. It is a story of power, fear, religion, desperation, healing, darkness. By the end, the name Nawgwu became tied to one of the darkest stories in eastern Nigeria. So let me ask you, so if an entire community believes one man is behind so much evil, should a group like Bakassi Boys step in, or should the law still be allowed to speak even when people are afraid? In Nigeria today, there is so much unrest, kidnappings and deaths, and the law watches silently. So the question here is, should a group like the Bakassi Boys be brought in to handle this? Or should the law be left in its silence? Drop your ideas in the comment section and tell me what you think.